The Welcome to the Wesak Full Moon Ceremony, full moon in Scorpio. Let's just take a moment first before we get started today and just take a collective breath together. Just taking a moment to set your intention for what you would like to receive today as we gather together, still in the portal of this sacred, beautiful portal between worlds, the Wesak Full Moon. Just allow this transmission of clarity and peace and grace to just land in your heart and in your body. And then knowing that this is in the sign, it lands in Scorpio, the sign of death and rebirth, shadow alchemy, power, reclamation. So this beautiful lunation isn't meant to be comfortable. It's meant to awaken. So for the awakening experience today, a couple of the essential oils that I have worked with today, and you'll understand more about why I chose these for today as we get into this, is Inner Child. So Inner Child is a really powerful one for this lunation, and then also Surrender. And so those were a couple that I decided to work with in this energy. You know, if you've been following my work for a while, and if you haven't, I'll explain. I love to use essential oils. We build altars and we use different experiences and different energies and crystals to put onto the altars for these different things. And so, you know, when we're working with the elements, and what I teach in the mystery school is that we want to bring our spiritual awareness and our awakening and our remembering into the physical through physical representation, so that we're not just always out in the ethers, right? We're not always just like, oh, I'm out here and I'm in the spiritual world, but grounding it into the body, the embodiment of it, into the physical reality of our worlds. And so that's why I share about my favorite oils that I always use, the crystals that really align to the energies of this time, how to work with the altar and the altar work that is really great for this time. So, you know, lighting a candle, the candle color that I would work with today would be a black or a red. And I'll explain more about that in that Scorpio energy. And then also anything of like the blood red or the black obsidian, the red jasper are all really great crystal energies to work with right now for the root. But we also have the crown going on with the Buddha consciousness. So like amethyst or anything in that golden light or range up into the crown chakras is really great for that. So those are some of the ways that you can start to play with bringing this energy into your physical world. So welcome to all of you beautiful souls that felt the call to this gathering today. And although yesterday was the full moon in Scorpio, we are still in that portal. And the full moon rose in Scorpio. It's mysterious, it's magnetic, and it's brimming with the sacred codes of death and rebirth. But this is no ordinary full moon, because it is the Wesak, the most holy day in the Buddhist calendar, and is honoring the birth, the enlightenment, and final liberation of the Buddha. And whether you follow the Buddhist or not, it's not about that, but it's about the Buddha consciousness, the Christ consciousness. It's about the awakening to our divine selves. And so this is a rare and radiant cosmic convergence. And it's where the Buddha consciousness is descending from the higher planes and the Christ consciousness is awakening in the heart. And in the deep waters of Scorpio, it's inviting us to shed that old skin of limitation. And I've come to understand these moments not simply as astrological alignments, but as initiatory gateways. And so here, and what I teach in the mystery school, these are not just a metaphor, they're a living transmission. They're encoded into the very geometry of time, and they call us into remembrance. And that's what we're here to do today. Again, that as above, so below, when we work with those Hermetic principles, We're looking at how these alignments of the cosmic world, the cosmology around us, is showing up within us. And this Wesak full moon, it holds a particularly electric charge because the moon in Scorpio sits in direct opposition to Uranus in Taurus, which is a planet of radical change and quantum liberation. So this astrology, it doesn't whisper, it roars. And if anybody felt it over the weekend, did you feel a roaring? I know I did. I was in Mount Shasta over the weekend, and I got to spend this incredible experience there. Instead of teaching, instead of leading, I got to be in ceremony and in retreat and have an experience of being on the other side of that. And it was a very radically liberating change for me to sit in the silence of my own quietness. I can remember at one point I pulled a card from the Lyran Oracle deck, and it said cellular upgrade, and then it said be in the silence. And I remember sitting in the ceremony, and there was a woman, Nico, singing, and I'm like, I want to sing, I want to like talk, I want to do my light language, I want to do all of these things. And I was kind of actually like working through a process of being pissed off about the fact that I couldn't. It was kind of like, and I had to work through this process and understanding that there's times where I must be silent, and I'm silent. And the thing is like, I was like, I'm silent all the time. I live alone. I'm alone. I'm here. I'm always silent. I meditate like 2-3 hours a day. I do all the things. And then I was like, but there was something more to be heard in the silence. And right now, this lunation, the silence is roaring. Yeah, I see Mia. She's like, yeah. The silence is so loud. So it's the kind of transit that shakes the foundations of stagnation, and it demands our sacred evolution. And you may be feeling it already, right? That tremble beneath the surface, the invitation to die to what no longer serves, the call to rise, to be reborn. And we're going to be working with that today with this Scorpio energy as we go later in when we get through all the astrological alignments. So for those of you that haven't been on my ceremonies before, let's talk about what are we going to do today. First, we're going to go through all the astrological alignments. We're going to talk about how this cosmology is affecting us on a collective level, how you can work with it. And we're going to share about this Christ and Buddha consciousness and how this works with the divineness of our 8th and 9th chakras and the work that comes into the mystery school. And then at the end, we're going to do this ceremony. We're going to work through some of these experiences, work through that Scorpio energy to allow yourself to rise into this new level of the divine DNA that we're working towards. So we're going to be playing with all that. So this full moon in Scorpio is when they say that the Buddha is believed to have been birthed, right? Born under this lunation. He also came to enlightenment on this lunation, and he died under this full moon. So all of that, is this. So this Wesak, it's not just a celebration; it's a portal of spiritual downpouring. It's this like cosmic transmission of the Buddha consciousness into Earth's grid. So Wesak is understood as the moment when the Buddha returns in spirit to bless the earth, appearing in the etheric the Wesak Valley, alongside the Christed Master, right? The Christ consciousness, and a gathering of ascended beings. So this is considered to be one of them, not just in Buddhist tradition, but across the board. The Christ consciousness, the Buddha consciousness, the ascended masters, all of these beings, there's this thin veil that's happening right now where they're all pouring their divine energy into the planetary grids. They're initiating those who are ready into higher states of awareness. This is the meeting of the crown and the heart. And so it's a descent of the divine wisdom, Buddha, and the activation of divine compassion, Christ. It is the flowering of the unity consciousness on earth. And so in the mystery school, we teach that this is part of that 12-phase initiatory path. It's a sacred remembering that unfolds not just through learning, but through living ritual, cellular recalibration, and the building of your light body. So this moon opens the 8th and 9th gates in our codex of initiation. It opens timelines and divine DNA. It is where karma is released, new codes are written, and soul contracts are rewritten in light. So this isn't just a moon. It's a descent of light and a reawakening of soul codes. So I want to know how many of you are ready to awaken some of your soul codes today. Put a 1 in the chat. I would love to hear it. I see some raising your hands. I love when those of you that I can see. Yeah. We're here today because the light is descending and our bodies and our hearts and our timelines are ready to receive. And this sacred convergence of spiritual energies is so vast, so luminous, that entire lineages have been built around honoring this moment. Just think about where the lineages that we hear of from the star families, from the Lyrian lineage of the solar flame and the light, to light consciousness, the order of Melchizedek, the experience of working with these energies, right? Yeshua and the Mary Magdalene, the Essenes, the Egyptians, all of it, all of them. What are they all about? Solar, light, the becoming of. So the descent of Buddha light in the Buddhist tradition, right? Wesak is that marking of this. And this is this, again, everything keeps coming back to the same thing. It's about the body, but in light form. And when he descends, right, he's descending here along with the Christ and the ascended masters, not to the mind, but to the grid, to the heart of the earth, to the frequency of the field of all of the sentient beings. And so this year we want to do this and work with this, but tonight you are the vessel. You get to be the receptive vessel that can hold the quantum geometry, the spiritual intelligence, the encoded light. And yet we're doing it under with this Scorpio moon, right? And so Scorpio is the alchemist. Think of it like this: the soul surgeon, the death doula, and the rebirth priest or priestess. So where we have the Buddha light bringing in the light from above, Scorpio is opening the gates below. And in this union of heaven and the underworld, something new is born. So Scorpio rules the womb space of transformation. It is the shadow work, the emotional release, the energetic detox, the sexual and soul sovereignty, the alchemy of trauma into power. And so what I'm going to be doing today when we do this, I'm going to give you some homework to work with this womb space transformation. Is something that we do in the second module month of our mystery school, is working with the womb space, the rose lineage, the womb space. And because this is Scorpio, this is a really powerful time to work through that detox of your sexual energy, the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra, and behind that, the womb chakra. Whether you're a man or a woman, you have a womb chakra. And it is about the birthing of what's coming into the world. But to do that shadow work, that emotional release, you want to dismantle it. So this moon isn't just about the illumination, right? It's not just about the Buddha and the Christ consciousness illuminating us. It's about dismantling. It invites us to the sacred death that must come before the soul rebirth. And so I want you to all take a minute right now and think about what is something that is ready to die for you so that you can have something be reborn. I found it super fascinating over the weekend while I was in Mount Shasta that there were several people at the retreat that I was at that all had the same experience as me of having this real big challenge in the past, for myself at least, around the word God, or around the ideas of Yeshua and Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene and the religious things that came with that, and how I had to heal those experiences for myself to be able to do this work. I wasn't even able to say the word God up until probably 5 years ago because of the amount of trauma from my childhood around that word. And I didn't realize that this was a collective trauma. There were so many people that were saying the same thing. So what is for you the thing that needs to die so that you can stand into the truth of who you are? Is it causing a physical issue, a financial issue, an emotional or relationship issue? Just start to think about it and go I want you to go below and beyond what you normally do in this moment, right? So maybe you're like, oh yeah, I'm always having the same financial issue. Go deeper. What's underneath that? Whose voice is it in? What is it here to really show you? What is the underneath line piece of that? Maybe it goes way back even farther, maybe from another lifetime. Don't go surface here. Scorpio is the underworld, is not about the surface thing. So if you have anger, like I was always angry, always angry. But what was underneath that anger? It was protection. I was protecting myself. Why? Right? Then I had to go deeper. What was the protection? Protecting myself from then what? Sadness, from loss, from pain, from what, right? Go deep. Ask yourself what's underneath that? What's underneath that? So tonight, the gateway is fully open. Be ready to dissolve karmic identity, past life bindings, inherited soul contracts. This is where you begin to remember who you were before the forgetting, before the distortion, the fear, the masks. And so this is not just a spiritual transformation that is asking to be happening here. It's somatic and it's quantum. The cells remember and the light body reforms. This is where your timeline recalibrates, your nervous system starts to shift. Your mission becomes cellular. Because when you start to do this, what you do when you activate the 8th gate and the 9th gate, right? The soul star chakra, which is located just above the crown, this gate opens the channel to higher councils, to galactic lineages, to the eternal self. You start to, when you heal and work in that underworld and get rid of that trauma, you allow yourself to start to remember, because we came here to remember, not to awaken. You are already awake. You came here to remember who you are. And then we get to the 9th gate, which is that DNA, that divine DNA activation, right? This gate reactivates the 12-strand DNA blueprint, the sacred template of your new human design. But again, everybody wants, I mean, this is a big thing that I've been hearing now, conferences, events, everything that I'm going to, the divine DNA and the 12-strand and to jumping timelines. Oh, everybody's like, I'm so into all of these things. Well, to do that, you must descend. You must go into the descent. Our first 3 months of the mystery school, which is about the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus, and the first 3 lineages and the grids that go with that, the rays that go with those physical realities, the first 3 dimensions of our reality are all about the descent. You must feel and heal all the shit, because if you're just trying to skip to the light and the love, that's the spiritual bypassing that is not going to work in this lifetime. These energies are real, they're raw, and they're activating you. So does everybody have something that they know? They're like, yeah, this is what I know that I'm working on right now. Let's see what we got. Stephanie, did you have a question, or did you just raise your hand to say yes? Oh, and then I lost her. Ah, I'm going over here and looking to see everybody. Hi. Oh, look, I saw so many lovely faces that I know and don't know. Okay, great. Awesome. All right, let's keep going. So I want you to just you really think about this. You know, what is it you're experiencing? What's activating you right now? What old stories are resurfacing? Not to torture you, but to be witnessed and released. Maybe you feel it as a restlessness or a body tingling or a deep fatigue as your system reorganizes. Or maybe it's a strange mix of rawness and readiness, like your soul is standing at the edge of something vast. I know that's what I've been feeling right now. I've like had such a profound, so many new things coming in, seeing more of my past lifetimes. I've had a couple of my new guides come in, and I'm just like, I'm also on the precipice of like, this is so fucking cool. And yes, at the same time, I'm like, and I'm a little scared. Like, is it really that? Is it that big? Anybody else feeling that? yeah, I see Stephanie. She's like, yeah. And it's also a piece of it is also like, and then who am I? Who am I to be doing this and teaching this shit? Honestly, you know? I mean, I'll be honest and admit it at times. Like, I know I've been called to do this. And at the same time, I'm sometimes like, and I've been doing this for 15 years or so, and I still don't feel ready. But I can only lead from where I'm at, and then I must sit and be led. And so I sit and I'm led, and then I lead, and I'm sitting, I led, right? And it's this interplay that we must all play with. So it's a strange mix of rawness, readiness, and also, oh shit, well, look what's coming. So if you feel like you're breaking open, you're not broken, right? You're being initiated. And if any of you guys want to go back and listen to the 12-step path of the initiation process that I was sharing, I can send that to you to really understand what is an initiate, what is being initiated, how is that different from awakening? Why is it that you're remembering or being awoken, right? Like I did a whole class on this, I think just last week, and you can really understand that and really understand that that you're remembering right now and you're being initiated and that this is the time. And so you have to just breathe. You got to breathe into your heart, feel the light from above, feel the waters of Scorpio below, because you are the temple. You are the vessel. And now we begin. So let's talk about the astrological alignments that are going on right now, right? So first, Scorpio, the full moon in Scorpio is opposing Uranus and Taurus. So what does that mean? That means karmic destruction, disruption, and liberation. So think of Scorpio as the womb of rebirth, right? Scorpio is a fixed water sign. It's deep, intense, unrelenting, and it governs the 8th house. So think sexuality, transformation, death, rebirth, shared power, the unseen. And in the mystery school path, the Scorpio is at the gate of the Phoenix, right? So when you hear about Phoenix rising, right? They're burn it all down and rise up again. That is what this Scorpio energy is about. It's where the initiate undergoes a sacred death to emerge sovereign, whole, and embodied in truth. It's where you transmute trauma into wisdom. It's where you reclaim power from old identities. It's where you release soul contracts that no longer serve. And it's where you awaken the serpent fire, the kundalini, right? That lives coiled at the root. This is Scorpio. So Scorpio is not about it doesn't deal with surface. It calls us into the initiate's descent to retrieve what has been hidden and bring it back, glowing with light. And so now, right, astrologically speaking, when we have this Scorpio full moon and it's directly opposing Uranus, it's really saying there's a ancestral alchemy and transformation that's happening. It's asking us to descend, to go into the initiation, rebirth, and structure, right? Shadow integration, energy alchemy. And Uranus is the planetary agent of sudden change and quantum disruption. So this is about like bringing electric shocks into our comfort zone. So it's where we're clinging to the material stability, outdated values, or old identities. So where are you? Think of this right now. Where are you clinging to material stability? What is an outdated value that needs to be upgraded? Or an old identity? So think about it through relationships, resources, security, emotional patterns. For me, I'll share, because you know in my community, I always love to share my own stuff. I'll share my breakthrough over the weekend around my own shit around this, right? About what the death and the rebirth. So for me, you know, coming out of I'm single, always, you know, wanting to be in a powerful relationship, went through this, you know, incredible experience of getting back together with my ex after 20 years, and then us releasing that relationship a little over a year ago after healing a 25-year cycle between the two of us. And I always keep saying, I I want to be taken care of. I want, I want my partner. I want this thing. I want all of that. And I was in this ceremony over the weekend and I heard the voice come in and say, do you really? Are you ready? Do you want to surrender? Do you really want to be taken care of? And then they showed me my life. And I'm like, A-type personality, in the masculine, running my business, dating a married man, conscious, ethically non-monogamous, right? To be clear, it is conscious, but still dating a married man, not married to me, because that makes it easy for me to not be taken care of. And I have to do it all on my own and take care of myself. And I was like, oh, wow. That's big, really big. I've been doing this to myself for the longest time. The last 3 people that I've dated have all been unavailable. And that really made me work through seeing this. So sudden change, quantum disruption, breakthrough. What do you need to let go of? And so I was like, oh, got to fix that. Got to be done with it, right? Because if I really truly say that I want the thing, and yet I'm living into the experience of the opposite of it in all of my experience. So this opposition with Uranus and Taurus is asking for liberation from karmic loops and that quantum leap potential. So what are you looking at? What is that? So I really want you to think about that for a few seconds, right? So this is, look at it as in the collective, right? We have major shakeups happening. We're seeing a lot of people awakening to their soul level purpose, nervous system upgrades, identity shifts. We're in a moment where the old soul contracts are crumbling. So it's allowing us to look at this tension between the past and the possible, past and possibility. And it's insisting on a rupture, a divine disruption that cracks open what has calcified. So Scorpio is ruling what is hidden, the trauma, the taboo, the power, the unconscious. And Uranus shocks it to the surface, not to harm. Look, that was me. I got shocked to the surface over the weekend, being like, you really say that you want this thing, yet you keep doing this thing over here for 5, 6, 7 years. Do I really want the thing that I say that I want? No, turns out that's scary as hell for me to be taken care of by someone else. Because in my mind, what I learned was that mean I was going to give someone else the control. And what happened when I was a child when someone else had control? Trauma, right? Lots and lots of trauma. So I'm going to let anybody have any control. But it was keeping me from the one thing that I actually want. So we're going to work through that today and look at that piece of it, right? And ask in this. The next piece that we want to look at as in this is Pluto. So Pluto, which is Scorpio's ruler, is in retrograde right now. So this is where the collective shadow is meeting future consciousness. So we are revisiting buried societal and personal truths, or especially around technology, power systems, community. So Pluto in retrograde is an underworld journey, right? It unearths collective trauma and asks, what kind of future are we building? So we're looking at this in this beautiful experience of saying, here's your shadow, the shadow alchemist, and it's rewriting the future, right? We're going to rewrite the future because right now, as it's in retrograde in Aquarius, is revealing the hidden shadows of the collective systems. How many of you have seen that? Look what's going on with our technologies. Look what's going on with our government. All sorts of interesting things coming out in the news right now, right? Fauci is what I think is it New Zealand just went after Fauci for 107,000 deaths. 107,000. Because what's happening is the hidden shadows of the collective systems are breaking down right now. And so is our relationship to power. So Pluto is that shadow initiator. It's the destroyer who clears the ground so that the truth can be reborn. We're seeing the truth be reborn in our food systems, and our politics and the way that we've seen what's going on in the world, right? But when it's in retrograde, as it is right now, this becomes an inward journey. So I want to ask you, what part of yourself have you abandoned for acceptance? What part of yourself have you abandoned for acceptance? Because your future must be built on truth and not performance. So just think about that for a moment and really pay attention. And just write it down so you can have that energy to work with when we're working through the ceremony. So this energy is asking us to review how we use our voice and technology, and whether this is rooted in spirit or in ego. It's asking us to cut the cords from distorted collective programming and awaken the visionary codes of your soul lineage. The next piece is Saturn in Pisces. And so this Saturn in Pisces is what we call sextile to the moon. And this, you don't really need to understand any of that. You just need to know that this is about divine boundaries for emotional integration. So there's support to ground this emotional clearing into your spiritual structure. So Saturn offers the sacred container, while Pisces offers the mystic. So together they ask us to dream responsibly and feel constructively. So what's the dream that you're dreaming? And do you have boundaries around it for yourself? Right? Sometimes we think boundaries are a bad thing, but boundaries, even in the dreams of where we're going, okay, we are protecting for yourself, allowing for it to be in a sacred container. Remember, divine masculine, divine feminine. Divine masculine is the sacred container that allows the feminine to flow in it. And you need both. And so while we have this Saturn in Pisces, we have the initiator, right? The initiator becomes the mystic container, and Saturn is the karmic architect. So in Pisces, he doesn't build the walls, he builds temples of faith. That's the boundaries. So Saturn is offering an emotional integration of the shadow work. So he's saying, don't just do the emotional work, right? Don't just do the shadow work, ground it. And where have you seen, what are you ready to commit to now that you've seen your truth? And here's where it asks for devotion and not perfection. And this is the beauty between, this is why we have the surrender here today, right? So this is the balance between divine structure, right? Building the temple within, going in and doing that inner alchemy and that inner work. And then also surrendering. That was me in this ceremony. I'm literally, the message was, are you ready to surrender and be taken care of? And I literally am screaming, yes, I'm fucking ready. And as soon as I said that, I was laying outside on the ground. And as soon as I said that, the ceremony leader came over and put a blanket on me, put her hand on my head. It was that easy. I surrendered and said, yes, I'm ready to be taken care of. And immediately, I didn't say anything out loud. Immediately, my energy allowed me to be taken care of. That's what it's asking for you here. It's the balance between giving yourself a structure, divine structure, the inner temple, and then surrendering to the outcomes. And so Saturn is asking you to create spiritual discipline, even amidst chaos. So the initiate is being trained in devotion and presence through this Piscean flow. And then we have the Mars in Leo. So we have this Mars in Leo that's squaring the moon. And this is about the ego expression. And it's about repressed desires or anger that may surge. So Mars in Leo, Leo wants to shine. But when it does, it's actually asking us to be humble, humility in action, to act from the soul and not the ego. So it's finding the divine balance between power and humility, shining and humbleness. So this is the sacred flame, and it's tested. It's like the holy fire, right? It's willpower, expression, divine leadership. But when this is squaring the moon and Uranus, this fire is volatile. But it's asking for heart-aligned courage and not to just break free and claim your truth, right? It's asking, saying, be seen, step into true leadership, but don't demand it in fear. And this is that fire of the solar plexus. And it activates your courage. So are you expressing from soul sovereignty or from wounded power? This is your chance to really step in and transmute pride into purpose. So I want you to think about this now. Where are you courageous or not courageous in your truth? Abandoned for acceptance, yeah. And then the final piece for the astrology is that Jupiter is in Gemini. And so this is about the sage opening new pathways of thought. So when Jupiter enters Gemini, it begins to shift our expansion into the mental realm. So Jupiter is the sage. He's like the priest, the philosopher. In Gemini, he's opening the doors to new ideas, multidimensional perspectives, and learning across time. So the wisdom now is not linear. It's quantum, it's plural, it's paradoxal. So you're learning to hold many truths without collapsing into confusion. I feel that's really like as a collective where we're at right now, right? Like galactic information coming through. We're moving from this very 3D reality of the world and all of a sudden understanding that there's so much more going on than we ever thought possible. I mean, even for myself, I've been teaching quantum miracles and quantum reality work for years. In just the last year, the amount of information that has come through and the information from my other lifetimes and the things that I've seen, and from the lineages of these soul lineages of the 12 lineages of the star families that are coming through, and all these things are being activated. I'm like blown away by what I'm seeing and understanding, and some of the people that I've been connecting with, and I'm like, really? This is possible? But I realize now I made this revelation. Remember at the beginning of the year, I talked about 2025 being the year of revelation and revolution. And one of the revelations I said was that this was the year that we would see, right, this quantum leap, this quantum evolution of ETs, galactic information, things coming in, like UFOs being seen. And so I said this, and I was in full belief of this when I said it, because I could see the energy of it. And I've had connections with my star family, and yet I said that. And then within 4 months' time, the amount of things that happened between going to Egypt and coming back, and all of the things are beyond anything that I could have experienced or imagined. And then I was like, why is this happening at such a rapid pace? Oh yeah, because if I'm here to teach and to lead and to be a part of this, then I have to go through it before everyone. Right. So that we can have these experiences. So I understand what's going on as the collective goes through them, which is what has been my entire life now for 20 some years is I always have an experience and go through something a couple of years, couple of months, whatever, before the collective, because then I understand it and I've already embodied it. And then I'm able to usher and share with it. And I feel that there's many of you on here right now that are in that same experience. Yeah, Stephanie's saying yes. Yeah. How many of you know you are here as one of the people that are here to lead this multidimensional experience? And you're like, I'm going through this now. Yeah, put a one in the chat. I'd love to hear, because this is what I think is right. Why you are called here with me right now. This is not an accident that you are here with me now. I'm one of the solar flame keepers of Illyrian lineage that has come here to bring light back to this planet. And the reason I have the mystery school, I've been taught that I'm teaching to open temples, that I have had lineages for millennia of lifetime that I have stewarded, that I'm meant to bring back into this life now. And so we're here together because we are the star seeds and the families coming back together to bring this work to the world. And we need to be together in community to have that happen. So Jupiter's movement here supports timeline weaving, multi-reality awareness, and nervous system adaptability. One of my biggest things, and one of the things that we work on in the mystery school, is it is not a thing where you just come in and learn information, because we don't need any more fucking information. I literally was working with my guides last night, and I was like, what do I need to do? I literally said this, yes. What do I need to do to bring this? And they're like, Melissa, you've done everything. Stop doing and just be the embodiment of it. The more that you walk the embodiment of it every day and be that and share that and teach that, that is what you need to do. And they're like, you have nothing more to learn, to understand, more information to gather. That you just need to be in it. And I was like, oh, yeah. Right. And that's what I teach in the mystery school, of course, right? I'm teaching the embodiment. Yeah, you get information. You learn some things because you want to know that, and we want our brains to understand that. But it's the embodiment of it. How do I walk as this? How do I live into it? How do I learn the sacred geometry, movement in my body, heal my nervous system so that I can embody more of the downloads coming through, so that I can be more of that light? Because what I want to be is I am the walking expression of this in the world. And it is not what I speak or what I do or what I say that changes people. And I've learned this. I know you all love listening to the astrology and hearing everything and stuff, but everybody always comes back and what do they say? Is when I go into my space and I'm speaking the light language and I'm doing the being, that everyone has the biggest transformations, the healings, right? We want the information for our brain side, but the healings and the things that are coming and the learning to embody, those pieces of it come from the embodiment and that lightness of that. And these are all crucial to anchoring these, these teachings into your system so that you can be that and walk in the world and then share it too. So right now, every planet right now that's active in this lunation is a teacher. It's really fascinating that that's what's going on right now with this full moon, this Wesak full moon in Scorpio. Every planet that we just went through, Jupiter and Saturn and Uranus, right? They're all teachers. Some of them are coming as a storm, some of them as a mirror, but they're all here to open your eyes. You are here to embody these energies tonight, and you're here to meet the Buddha in the valley of your own being, and remember that you too are the light. And so each of these planetary archetypes is a gatekeeper of awakening. So will you surrender to the alchemy, or will you resist the flame that forges you? So we're looking at spiritual embodiment with the Christ consciousness, mental liberation, cosmic awareness with the Buddha consciousness, sacred death and rebirth with Scorpio, quantum evolution and higher dimensional anchoring with Uranus, all of these things. So you just received the map, right? The stellar guidance, the archetypal forces, the evolutionary points. But now we move from the map into the mystery. In Wesak, the spiritual high point of the year, when the Buddha, the Christ, and the Masters of Light return, in the frequency, not in form, in frequency, it's a blessing and a transmission. And what they ask and what happens through this lineage is everyone comes together in meditation. Everyone comes together and they meditate together a week. We're not doing a week. I'm not going to keep you guys on here till next Tuesday, I promise. But but we are going to do some of this together, right? Through the sacred convergence here, I want to open a rare quantum field, one where timelines collapse, where our soul codes can activate, where a new version of you becomes able to receive. So I want you to take a moment and I want you to really speak into this intentional space. So just breathe for a moment. Place a hand on your heart or on your womb or one on each. Together, we're just gathering in this quantum field. We're going to weave together the sound and the light and the ancient remembrance. This full moon creates this ceremonial gateway. We're going to be activating 3 main parts today. The crown chakra, to allow for that flood of light from the Buddha transmission. The heart, which anchors that compassion from Christ consciousness. And then the root and the womb centers are activated for that Scorpio and death, right? The Scorpio depth, the Uranus that jolts. We're going to be activating those pieces together. Just going to put on a little bit of background here. We're going to start to walk into this together. Asikere ensere tikire hasiti esere ti intire asitira asikere asere tire asere asolar sentere siti esete. Asenya. I want you to just start to breathe deep into your belly, into that womb chakra. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. We're going to first just release any emotional patterns, soul contracts, karmic echoes that are held in the waters of your emotional body. Scorpio does not fear the shadow, it transforms it. So breathe in again, breathing deep into that belly. Just starting to allow yourself to feel. What is the residue that is in this area for you, in that emotional body? What are you finally here to release and let go of? The guilt, the shame, the fear, the trauma. We'll be transmuting it back into love from whence it came, allowing for this frequency of something new to be moved into your body. Keep breathing deep into that belly. Just asking yourself now, what is no longer serving you? Maybe you're holding on to something ancestral or from your parents, something that is not yours. Just notice and feel in your body now. Just notice, where is it in your body? Now, just saying, using the power of your voice, I now release what is no longer mine to carry. And as you speak out these words, notice, feel, experience wherever that energy in your body is. You start to see that energy pulling and moving out of you, like the breath of your words, and into a beautiful pink bubble in front of you. That energy, that person, that place, that thing. And again, just breathing out, releasing that energy into that pink bubble. And in that bubble, there's a beautiful golden cord. And that energy that no longer serves you, that's not yours to carry, drops down deep, deep into Mother Gaia, into the earth, to be transmuted back into love. The energy of this Scorpio moon asks you to float in the waters of your remembrance, in that womb of creation, to go with the flow. What are you finally here to let go of, to release, to transmute? What is below, beneath, underneath? Keep going deeper. What is the emotional pattern, the soul contract, the karmic echo? You see yourself now floating in these waters. As we start to now breathe, we're going to be using this beautiful quantum breath to move through this energy to release any karmic bonds, any soul contracts. Maybe you'll see it right now. Maybe you know what it is. Maybe you don't. That's okay. Just be willing to release during this Scorpio full moon energy so we can rise up into that Buddha Christ consciousness. First, we descend and we release the patterns that are no longer serving us. So breathe in through the mouth and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Keep breathing, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing that breath deep into the belly, filling that belly up, breathing it in and breathe out. Keep breathing, breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Start allowing this energy to move through your body, through your system, letting it go, breathing that energy in, letting it go. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. You've got this. Keep going. Keep breathing. I want you to really start to feel this. What are you finally ready to let go of that you can really heal this nervous system, allow your body to start to reactivate itself? Start to allow that serpent energy to move in that lower chakras from that root, from the belly. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. You've got this. Keep going. Just a few more moments here. That's it. Breath in, breath out. And now in just a moment, what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in, and we're going to breathe deep into that belly, breathe deep into the root chakra. Breath in, breath in, breath in. You're going to hold it all. I want you to hold it. Hold that breath. Keep that belly. Squeeze Mula Bandha. Squeeze that lock. Squeeze your root. Squeeze everything. Squeeze your entire body. Breathing into that root chakra. Holding that energy in there. Allowing that womb to just feel that water, that energy, that movement. What is it finally letting go of? Hold that energy. Keep holding it. Don't let go yet. Allow yourself to recalibrate your energetic architecture. You got it. There you go. Hold it as long as you can. And when you're ready, I want you to shoot it down into the earth. Transmute that energy. Let your breath out and let it go all the way down, 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 and into Mother Gaia. Yes. And then breathe that energy up from her, back up, up, up into that womb chakra. And as you do, start to feel your nervous system shifting and transmuting. We're going to do this one more time. Release any other energy, and then we're going to start to move up that pillar of light and build into that divine consciousness and allow you to work into your lineage of that Christ beauty consciousness. So this time, 2 breaths in, breath out, 2 in, out, breath in, breath out, 2 in, and out. That's it. Keep breathing in, breath into your belly, breath into your chest, breath out. Breath in, breath in, breath out. Feel it, breathe in as best as you can. Keep moving that energy, breathe it in, allow your body to feel that serpentine energy as you go. 1, 2, breathe out. 1, 2, breathe out. You've got this. Keep allowing this energy to move. Wherever you feel it in your system, maybe you breathe it into your shoulder or into your neck. Wherever you feel stuck energy in your body right now, let it go. This is about going beneath the pain, beneath the pattern, beneath the projections. This is your initiation into your remembrance, into sovereignty, into the sacred embodiment. So let it go. Get it out of your body, out of your system. Breath in, out. You've got this. And now, a couple more breaths. You're going to, again, do that hold. You're going to pull that energy. I want you to now breathe deep into the belly. Pull all of that energy in. Feel the energy moving around in that womb and root chakra space, feeling it, anchoring that energy in. Allow it to recalibrate your system. Hold it. Feel that energy. Start to feel it shaking that system, that energy, maybe almost feeling orgasmic as you're allowing that energy into that lower body. And when you're ready, you can't hold it anymore, shoot it down and release it and give it to Mother Gaia. Give it to Pachamama. Allow her to support you with that loving energy. And then you start to breathe that energy up. Breathing it up, breathing it up, breathing it up. All the way up now into the heart chakra. That beautiful, Christed, beautiful energy in that heart, the place of compassion. Breathing in through your heart. Breathing out. You are the bridge between earth and the stars. Let the light remember itself through you. As you just keep breathing into your heart, start to notice, see, and feel yourself walking through the Wesak Valley. And hear that Buddha energy descends in light. And as you're standing in this beautiful valley, the nature all around you, you also see that beautiful Christed energy appearing whatever that Buddha consciousness looks like to you, whatever the Christed consciousness looks like to you. They're here standing in this valley with you. And as you do, you start to see, feel, and notice a transmission of golden diamond light starts to pour down, down, down from above, from the highest point of light and source that you can find into your heart, into your, down through your crown and into your heart. Connecting as above, so below. You've pulled that energy from Mother Gaia, and now you're receiving this golden, beautiful rainbow diamond light from above, right down into your crown and your heart. Now we're going to just start to allow us to ascend into our light body. So I want you to start breathing again. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. You're going to start to receive a transmission of energy. You're going to receive a message as we're opening up your soul star chakra. We're opening up the crown. We're connecting you to your future self. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Beautiful. Just keep that breath coming. As this time, as we start to pull that energy in, allowing that light to pour in from above, activating the bridge that you are, allowing this light to shine up and down through you. And now on your next breath in, you're going to breathe in. And as you do breathe in, you're going to breathe that breath all the way up, 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 and into that pineal gland, into that third eye, that crown chakra, pulling that energy all the way up, holding it into that energy right there, allowing for yourself to activate that third eye, that intuition, and connecting your crown and your heart and your soul star together so that you can start to see and notice, connecting in to your intuition, your divine self. Hold that energy in the crown. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Keep holding it as long as you can. And when you release, this time you're releasing, shooting that energy, that breath all the way up into the cosmos, into the God field, into the highest point of light that you can find. As your soul star opens and beautiful spiral light codes start to descend down, karmic seals dissolving. And you start to say, I recode my being with truth, love, and light. Oh. Start to allow yourself to feel this energy coming in through your system, through your body. Allowing for light frequencies to come in now. As you start to feel, sense, and notice a transmission from your star family starting to come through as the light starts to pour down into your body now. Feeling that energy Mhm. Yes, 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 yes. Mm. What messages they have for you now? You're here with this Christed energy, with the Buddha, with Yeshua, the Christ consciousness, the Sophia consciousness, all of it here for you in this beautiful valley as you're connected now, as above, so below, that pillar of light. May this carry the codes of remembrance and healing and rebirth for you. Allow your crown chakra to be flooded with the light from the Buddha transmission and your heart to be anchored in that compassion of Christ consciousness, the Christos. What are you here to remember? Listen from your soul now. Receive the messages now of what is here for you to know. Timelines are collapsing collectively and personally. You have new soul codes activating now. Are you willing under this Wesak full moon to embrace the conscious light of who you are? Siria, 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 Corte, Siki, Atigra, Sekere, Sente, Se, Arhitere, Siria. today here. This is a fusion, a portal of the crown to root embodiment from the celestial realms, that Buddha consciousness to the earthly temple of Gaia. You're here to clear fear-based survival codes and step into the sovereign embodiment of your life's soul's mission. So as you're receiving these messages now, I want you to move into the movement of action of body, pen or paper or anything, and start to write, receive, send, take a journey in writing what is here for you. What do you need to know? As you listen to the frequencies, recalibrating your system. What is the transmission here for you today? What's the next step? What are you here to learn? What guidance do you still need? The Buddha has walked the path. The Christ holds the heart, and you are the temple. This is a reclamation of a soul remembrance for you today. What are you ready to receive that is already here for you? Whatever you receive today is exactly what is right for you right now. It may be a unique soul frequency ready to emerge, or a vision, or an activation, or a symbol, or simply peace. Just allow the old you to dissolve and let the light remember itself as you. Tonight is an invocation to live the light architecture of your being, to awaken this new frequency, to restore your soul clarity. Let's take a few minutes to start coming back to this space, to this place, to write down anything that is here for you to notice, to feel. I'm going to take some time to share, to gather some information. I'm going to share a little bit more about what's coming up. And I'm going to give you something to try to practice, to take with you, to work with the womb and Scorpio energy, to keep releasing more karmic themes. So if you would, as you're coming back on, I know some of you did not have on your cameras before, and some of you have. I would love for everyone that can, I know not everyone can, I know not everyone can put on their cameras, but if you can, I would love to have you bring on and put your cameras on so I can see all of you together, as I'm going to change my grid here to so I can see everyone. Oh, there we go. Hi. Oh, look at all your beautiful faces. Oh, I see so many faces that I recognize, and then I see some that I have no idea. I know it's very late, Olga. I love you so much from coming from the UK and those in the Netherlands. Please know that the replay will be out, and I'll be sharing more here in just a moment about what's coming up with the mystery school, that our next round starting in about 2 weeks. So if you have to drop off because it's midnight or later for you, I totally understand. And I will catch up with you. But I want to share a little bit about the excitement of what. Oh, look, I love that Dan and Sarah are enjoying the outdoors over there. Yes, awesome. And I know Patty's in Australia, and so good to see you coming from there. Oh, I see so many beautiful faces that I recognize. Oh, even Mary here in Austin with me. Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, Aaron up in the corner. Aaron was so gracious. We had a wonderful 3.5 hour drive from Mount Shasta to Sacramento yesterday together. It was so beautiful. Oh, so many wonderful faces, and then also beautiful faces that I don't know and haven't seen before. I love it all so much. If anybody wants to share anything, their experience, what they noticed that they're moving through, any yes, I will be, of course, Tom, sharing this recording. Absolutely. I will be sharing it for so that you guys can watch and, go back through some of these things. But I want to, while you guys are doing this, I want to talk a little bit about a shadow alchemy ritual. So this is one of the womb and alchemy rituals that's for like the womb chakra, which is in the second month of our mystery school. We work with the womb and the sacral chakra and the waters of emotion and Isis and that energy. And it's about emotional purging, sacred sexual reclamation, shadow integration. And I want to share just a little something for you to try right now, right? For this evening, if you feel like you still have some other things you want to work on or release or let go of, it's all about the water. So, a lot of times when we do full moon ceremonies, we're burning things, right? We're going out and we're burning things in outside or with fire. But because of the Scorpio new moon, I want you to work with water instead today. So you're going to release through water. So anything that you were releasing, letting go of, you can put it onto paper, flush it out in water, get into a salt bath, work into working with the transmissions of the water, right? So get a bowl of water even, right? Or a glass of water. You can dip your fingers into the bowl of water, into the glass of water. Allow yourself to anoint that area of your womb or sacral chakra right below the belly. And you want to just bless the waters within you, really think about that. And I actually have here, I'll share this. It's a womb anointing. Let me just share this in here. You can use this phrase. I'm going to put this into the chat. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. There you go. Did that work? Yeah. This is part of working with that releasing. So if there are things that you feel like you still need to release, work them through, like, again, writing, right? Write them down, release them through water, dissolve them in water, speak them into water and let it go, right? So you can imagine or feel like this emotional purging, right? The purging of the sludge, the grief, the shame, the betrayal, whatever it is that's deep in that pelvic energy, right? We're releasing it through the word or the image or the feeling. And you can do that through the breath and then through water. So what I like to do is get into a salt bath, put a bunch of rose petals or, use my sacred oils and things like that in that, but get into that salt bath, do breath work where it feels literally like, if I were giving birth in a thing of water and I'm sitting in that. But instead, what I'm doing is I'm releasing out of my energetic body in the womb, the pain or the trauma or whatever of what's sitting in there, as if I'm moving it out and into the water. Does that make sense? Like that birthing, that moving out of that energy, that's going to really allow and support you in moving these things through. So that's one of the things that you can do. And I really work. So I would love for you to work with that energy. And then the second piece is because of the Wesak moon, the golden light of the gold, the Buddha consciousness. Remember, anytime you see Christ conscious or, the Yeshua or any of the things, they always see this beautiful golden like orb around their head. Well, they're going to get deep into what that orb means, and there's a lot of different things, but a couple different things, right? So from the Lyrian lineage, it's about that solar flame, the golden flame, the solar flame. It is also about, like, when you see the halo, right? So that's that Christos, that consciousness, and we can start to work with, and we get deeper into like the sacred geometry and understanding how to work with these things in the mystery school. But just know that we're working in this golden, you can work with this golden energy also to allow you to start dropping this into your system in this thing. And when we think of the Christos, or the temple, we're working with the sacred geometry of the circle with the point in the center that then becomes the sphere. And so you think about it like it's a sphere, right? When we have that golden consciousness that we can work with. So a couple of things, like if you want to work with releasing, you go into the sacred waters of the Scorpio. And if you're wanting to work with that higher consciousness in that level, you can start to work up into this, the frequency of the gold and the flame, which is stuff that we work on much later in the different pieces. So does anybody want to share what any of their experiences? If you could either just unmute yourself, or you can just share. And while we're doing that, while I'm waiting, I'm going to share just a little bit about what's coming up with the mystery school, so that you guys know exactly what's going on with that. So let me just pull up. Where is it? So our mystery school, we have our new moon in Gemini welcome ceremony, and that is on May 26th, and that will be our initiation. We'll be initiating everyone with the initiation of the scepter. We'll be working through the initiatory steps and the path of the initiation. And then our first month drops on June 1st, and that is the first descent. We start to work on diving deep into the experience. So this is a 9-month initiatory journey, right? So the Sacred Soul Alchemy Mystery School, it's monthly initiations aligned with the chakras and the code of 12. So it's teachings from the lineages of the Egyptians, the Essenes, the Vedic, and the cosmic lineages, everything from Lyria to Arcturians to Syrian, the Pleiades, right? This cosmic energy that comes down through the experiences of the Egyptians and the Essenes. And we go have activations through sound, geometry, breath work, ritual, DNA recoding, and we work through this living temple together. So it's, again, we have the information. You're going to learn a lot about the initiatory path, about the gods and goddesses, the archetypes, about sacred geometry, about how to work with sound, how to work with these paths, about all the different chakras, the 12 strands of DNA, how they all align together. But the key is that that's all great, but it's about the embodiment. And so we're going to actually work through and learn how we use these pieces in our body. So today we just did a bit of a ceremony. We did astrology, and we did a ceremony. But there's a lineage that goes to the understanding of how all these pieces work together and the sacred geometry, because my goal is to teach you to embody the things, so you learn to live in the walking experience of how do I activate and live in that? How do I heal the trauma that's still holding on? How do I go in and find the pieces of the things that are keeping me financially, mentally, emotionally, relationship, right? All of those different things that are not doing that. And then how do I use that then and stay in a higher state of consciousness, connect into my lineage, connect into these experiences of this cosmic radiation that I am, right? So if your soul is ready to walk the path of remembrance, of light embodiment, sacred power, then this is your portal. I invite you to join me, and I'm going to put the link in. We have, I think we have a space for 30. We're over half full at this point. I do know that. I don't know the exact number at this point. I think we're at 17, 18, maybe even 20 at this point. And so a couple of different things that we are doing is I am offering two partial scholarship spots, which means that if you are someone and you're like, I know that this is my path, I know I'm called to do this, but I know that I just can't afford it. Right now, the price is $1,111 off of the full price. So it's already at a discount. But if you are someone that says, even at the discount, even with an extended payment plan, whatever, this is not even going to be possible in my realm to do this, I invite you to apply for a partial scholarship. But know that if you apply for a partial scholarship and you don't get it, you won't then be allowed to come back in and be like, oh, I'll just pay full price and come, because it's only for partial the scholarship pieces are only for people that truly are financially cannot do it no matter what, right? And I always offer that to those. And then I do ask, and that's part of the partial scholarship that does, if you do get one of those and you do not show up, I will kick you out. Oh yeah. Patty's like, yeah, no, absolutely. I am very serious about this. Is a path of initiation, and I want you to be committed to it, and I want you to be a part of it. And so I am happy to invite you in and to gift and to give and things like that. But I'm also one of those that if you're not going to show up for it, I'm not going to let you be a part of it, right? Because this is a container for everyone, and I want you all to be a part of it. So I put the information into the chat. There are a bunch of bonuses. I went over them on the last class. If you sign up in the next 24 hours, you're going to get a one-to-one with me, which is about a 2.5-hour experience. We'll go deep into your lineage, Akashic records, all of the cool stuff. We'll do a bunch of healings and stuff together. You can have that as a gift, and that is worth is almost as much as the program itself, right? To do that work with me. So I'll gift those only whether you do the payment plan or not. If you do that in the next 24 hours. But I've already given away, I think, 2 or 3 of those, and I'm not going to give away a lot of them because I'm doing a lot of work for myself, but I do love working one-to-one with people. There is also a list of, there you get a codex with it. There's frequencies and quantum meditation. I don't know. I didn't have it all listed out for you guys today. At this point, most of you guys have been on my calls, know who I am. If for some reason you don't and you want more information or you want to talk with me deeper, I'm not a push on this. I'm like, fucking just message me on email and be like, can we jump on a call? I'll jump on a call with you. We can talk about it, see if it's the right fit for you. I'll be honest. If I'm like, no, I don't think it's good for you. I think it's great for you. Or if it's not, right? I really, really want this to be, this is for most of you that know, like, right when I walked away from the world in 2022, and I took that year off when I shut down my business, and I never really thought I was done. I was done. This is my year of death, and 7 people died, and I lost everything, and I was shut down my business. I left my home and I moved out of the country. And so when I got called back to doing this work in this way in 2024, I was really, really resistant. I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do any of this. I don't want to. But now I understand why, after coming back from Egypt again and all the things, I'm being led and I'm called, and I know the power of this work. I've seen over the years the lives that have transformed. I know my life is transformed. Those of you that know my story, the trauma that I've gone through and the way that I've healed myself. And now to be in this experience, I just want to be a part of a community and share with those of you. So if you feel called in any way and you just aren't sure or not, if this is right for you, let's have a conversation, because this to me is my life's work and my soul's work at this level right now, right at the age of 47. And I don't know where that's going to take me, but I know that it's light years from where I thought I would ever go. Light years from where I thought I would ever go. And I keep getting messages and emails from people that have been going through, if you want to connect with me. So here is my email. I'm going to just put this in here. Just shoot me an email message. And I will personally respond, and we can jump on. I have a totally free week. It's only Tuesday. I have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Anybody that wants to talk to me in the next 3 days, I've got tons of time. So we can do that. Just shoot me a message, melissa@melissaminnick.com. I want to walk through each and every one of you through whatever you feel like. And even honestly, if you do not, even if you're like, I don't want to do the mystery school, but I just want to connect with you, Melissa, and say hello, do it this week. I got time. I love you. And, we can do that too. But I've been getting lots of messages, people reading the book, people that are coming through and saying, oh my gosh, we're connected in another lifetime from this lineage, these things. I just know that I want to be here as part of this experience with every single one of you. And so I'm not going to go deep into we all know I can sell shit, right? Like, obviously, if I wanted to sell it to you, I want you to be called to it. If you feel called to coming into the mystery school or finding out more about it, or want to speak to any of my former students or me about any of it, there's tons of bonuses. There's a bunch of shit. There's cool stuff. Like I did all the good things that go with all the whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know, whatever. Just message me. We'll talk. I want you to come in and feel right to, you know, to this experience because I know for those like here, Barbara, hi. Can you, you're like, oh no, not Barbara, here, Heather. Let's bring on some of the, I got a couple of people that are students on here. Mia, Heather. You can hear some of the people talk from their own experience about what they've noticed.
Wait,
Hi,
can you hear me?
yeah, babe.
Melissa, can you hear me or no?
Barbara, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you could. I'm like on my phone and on the computer. It seems like
Right.
they're
I'm
not
seeing
working.
two different
Yeah.
things. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Mm.
So the mystery school was and is amazing. This will be I think my third time through the mystery school.
Mm.
Right. It will change your life. It is so worth it. I am not who I was before. I'm a better version of everything. I do healing work also. So that has certainly transformed that. And my students that have been with me for a while are noticing those differences. So it's not just me saying that. I'm getting feedback. Like they don't know why, but well, some of them do because some of them have been in the mystery school with Melissa. So some of them do know why. It's not like she's a secret. I talk about her all the time because she's amazing. But yeah, I really encourage you to take that trip and join the mystery school. Each time I'm on one of these things is enlightening, and I put down my experience in the comment because I didn't know if it would if I could talk, and it seemed like you wanted people to say what they could. So there you go.
Yeah, no, and well, and I can't wait, Barbara. We have to connect because I got information about the lion. Wait,
you did? Oh,
yeah, you're gonna be it's so wild. Oh, yep. I know about the lion and the lioness and the Sphinx and all the information came through. Oh, so anyways, we just got back from Egypt, a big thing with the Sphinx and the lion and the lioness, and I just got a big download from some cool stuff. So Barbara, we'll be chatting about that. Anyways,
yeah.
for another time.
I had visions and I did not understand them. So that's I'm
Oh,
so
I
excited.
got so much coming through right now. I can't wait to share. I'll give you a call.
Okay.
All
Well,
right, awesome.
the lion stays with me. Okay, I'll talk to you. Bye.
It should, and now I know why too. I'll tell you more.
Okay.
All right, awesome. Heather. Hi,
Hey.
honey.
Hi. So I would just highly recommend the mystery school. I felt super called to it the first time, and this will also be my third time because I really feel like it is part of my path to mastery, and it really is all about self-mastery, and it's just taught me so much about myself and what I'm capable of, and it's opened up so many different areas of my life. So yeah, I mean, from manifesting money to like huge relationship changes, but mostly just changes in myself and how I feel about myself and my own worthiness, you know. So yeah, I mean, all the good things. Can't say enough good things about it.
Awesome. Thank you, honey. And then Delphine, Delphine messaged me just recently, and she said that after our last Toth initiation that you started having your light language come through, right?
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah? But I felt it actually the first time you use it, like the first time you use it during the ceremony, I felt like something open. And after Egypt, I was listening to a light language every day. I really feel the call. Yeah? And after the thought ceremony, it's just like I started to speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love it. Yes, I love it so much. When you sent me that message, I was just like, oh, because I can remember when my light language first started coming through, and I was like, like, is this, you know, like, what is this? And then, but then when you feel the power of it, you know that whatever that means. And again, my resistance, I had the resistance. My parents spoke in tongues, right? as my father was a minister who was also a rapist and a sociopath, right? He was a, ministry school, things like that. Like went through a lot of trauma. I was raised in the religion where we went to a church where people spoke in tongues and all these things. And yet, I mean, abused, right? You guys, most of you know the story. And so when I started, having language coming through, of course, at first I was like, kind of triggered around, well, what is this thing? Because that to me was like connected again to this other. And then I started to understand like this opening that's come through all of these different pieces it's all the truth of who we are, but it's been distorted. And, there's just been these distortions in the way that it comes through. And I'm not saying that religion is bad in any way, shape, or form. Like people need faith, they need different things. The way I experienced the religion it was traumatic for me because of what I went through. And it took me years to be able to come back through that. And so whatever that system or those beliefs are, those things, like learning to harness and own that and be able to own my light language, be able to own the truth of who I was, be able to own, like my mother, told me from the time could remember that Archangel Gabriel had come to her in a vision, and that's how she knew she was pregnant with me. That was the first part of the story. And I found out years later that Archangel Gabriel seems to, hand out visions of babies to people, it turns out. Didn't know this until years later. But at the same time, that vision that she ended up having, which told her that she was pregnant, was the same thing that ended up having her nearly beat to death by my father when he tried to make sure that I wasn't born and that she wasn't going to be here, right? So all of these pieces of things that were like connected into this idea of that now I all work with, right? Yeshua, Mary, Mother Mary, the Essenes, the Egyptians, and how they're all interwoven and intertwined together, and what that really means to live in this higher state of consciousness, which is really what it's about. And I think that's really the key for us, right? This beauty of what we're moving towards and how we're shifting and what we're sharing. So what I would just love to do now is open up for any questions. Since you're here right now, do you have a question or anything about the journey we just went through, or something from the journey you want to share, or a question about the mystery school or what we're doing? Or we can just all just stare at each other. Yeah, so if there's any questions or anything that you want to know. We have been on break from the mystery school now since so we went to Egypt in March, right? And the last round of the mystery school ended, I think, in January. So it's been a minute. So I actually miss it so much. I'm so excited and can't wait to get back in and get started and do all of the fun stuff. And this round being a 9-month, our first 9-month excursion. Yeah, Nico. Hi, honey. Oh, Nico is amazing. You guys like my beautiful hair? Nico is my hairstylist.
Hi, my love. This has been so wonderful, and I'm really stepping into a lot of this, and you and I will talk. But I just wondered if you go through in this school in the 9 months, do you go through all the different lineages, and so we have a good understanding of where
we don't go through all 12 of them because it's a 9-month program, but we go through 9 of them that are connected to the 9 main chakras that we work with through that. And then there's a couple of other like extras, but yeah, the 12 star lineages are a part of it. We go into depth into about 9 of them in this one.
So star lineages, what about Egyptian and those type of things? Is that all connected?
Oh yeah, that's all. Yeah. The Egyptian is the main lineage that I work with, right?
Yes, I remember that now. Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. I'll talk to you more. I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Recognize some good names, some names that I see. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Yes, here. Oh, hi, Patty. I see you around, coming in and out all the time. It's so lovely. Closest I've been to Egypt was 5 months ago on the Dead Sea. Sure. Oh, yeah. I was in the Dead Sea just recently after I left Egypt also. Okay, everyone. Thank you all so very much, and I'm super excited. And we have, I think next week coming up, we'll be doing womb rose lineage work. A couple more classes before we start on the 26th. So I'll see you all soon. Keep a lookout for all the good stuff, and I'll be talking to some of you.
Did you go in the water at all in the Dead Sea?
Did I get what?
Did you go in the water at all?
I did. I hung out and floated in the Dead Sea. I was in the Dead Sea in Jordan. Yeah.
Jordan. Oh, yeah. I was on the
in
Israeli
Jordan, yeah.
side.
Yeah, I couldn't go to the other side there. I did from Egypt. I went to Jordan and spent like 5 or 6 days in Jordan and did the Dead Sea from that side. Yeah.
But you weren't silly like me and put your head under the water, did you?
Yeah, of course I did.
But when I did, people came out to rescue me because it's so saline.
Yeah.
It'll sting your eyes. So
No, it was, yeah, you got to keep your eyes closed. You got to go. But I had to do it. Like I had to go, I had to. But I love how you can just float it. And I was there at both sunset and sunrise. So I got to see like both ends. And it was just like the beautiful colors and everything. It was really lovely. And I went to Petra while I was in Jordan too, which was just mind blowing. And actually I've been doing some studies with like right now this summer I'm going to Göbekli Tepe in Turkey and Cappadocia. There's some really, I just spent 3 hours online with a doctor from Boston University who graduated from Yale, who works with like the Sphinx, and he's an archaeologist / whatever. Anyways, we're talking about Göbekli Tepe and all the other things and all that kind of stuff. So I'm super excited to go check that out. So, all right. Okay, everyone. Love you all so much.
Yeah, love you. Bye. Cheers.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.